Hi kids. Welcome to the first training video for the KNEX Mega Coaster. Alright. If you've reached the point where you've got some flex time for working on the roller coaster, or we've officially kicked it off as a class, this video will teach you how to go get the parts you need to build your section of the Mega Coaster. Okay? Now, this is probably one of the biggest KNEX projects any school makes anywhere. So it's kind of a big deal for not only us and working together, but for people who come in and see this. It's really quite an amazing thing. Okay? It takes months to build this. Okay? It won't be done in a few weeks. It'll take a couple months to actually build, sometimes 3. Now, it has over 9 sections, and each section is about as wide as this board here and a little bit wider, okay, and we have 9 sections. There are over 150 separate parts to be built, so some parts are simple and small, other parts can be almost 3 feet by 3 feet high and long, okay, but we have 150 of those parts. So if you could imagine that we only have a total of about 75 classes in all 3, or 75 students in all 3 classes, really almost every student can build 2 parts, but that doesn't always happen. Some kids will build 1 part, some kids will build 3 or 4 parts. We will have kids from other classes building parts as well, whose teachers participate. But everybody will get a chance to build 1 part. The KNEX for this project weigh about 125 pounds when they're all taken down and put into a bin. So there's a lot of parts going into this coaster. All right? So anyways, that's the Mega Coaster. Let's talk about the first step, and that is getting your parts. Okay? Each student will get assigned 1 or more parts to build. Okay? And some students will build many parts. But you will need to gather up some things to get started on this. Now, here's how the building process will work, okay? You will be assigned your part to build, and during flex time, you will get to build if your work is complete and your grades are solid. I'm not saying you have to have A's or B's. They have to have at least C's or higher in order to keep doing this, and no missing work, okay? Your assigned part will be sent to you via Schoology messaging. Okay, so when I send you your part and I say, okay, you're ready to do this, that means that you've completed the training up to that point and you will get a part to build. Okay, and you will get a link to the video and everything you need to do from there. You will also get the link to the video and possibly a picture of your part. So some of these parts have been built and we have video and picture, but all of them have a video. All right? Now, double check your link information and paperwork information and be sure it matches. So when you have flex time and your assignments are good and you've been given a part and that link is sent to you, you'll see me and I will give you a packing list. Okay, for your parts. I will give you a packing list. And this packing list will have all the parts that we use, and it will identify what they are and that sort of thing. And I'll show you more about this when we get over into the STEM room. But what you want to do is you want to check that the title on here, Section 1, Part 1, matches the actual link that I sent you. And if it doesn't, well then you need to come up and say, Mr. Troll, there was a mistake, and we can resend things, okay? So anyways, that's the building process, okay? You will be assigned a part to build. During flex time, you get to build if your work is good. Your assigned part will be sent to you via Schoology messaging. You will also get the link to a video and possibly a picture of your part. And then once you get that information, double check the message, the link, the paperwork, everything, so you're sure you're on track building what you need to build. Okay? Alrighty. Now, you're going to have to go get parts. Alright? So what I will do is I will give you the packing list. I will give you a large name tag and a smaller name tag. And then, of course, a Ziploc bag. Alright? What you will do is you will get your list your name, 2 name tags, and a bag from the teacher. Okay, so you'll get those parts. One of the name tags in the bag, and one of the name tags remains in the bag. That will be this bigger name tag that stays in the bag, so you don't lose your parts, and we know what section those parts belong to. And one is for the part you are building. So the smaller one will go on the actual structure. So you get 2 name tags. The big one will have the section and the part number you're building along with your name, and the smaller one will have the section and the part number along with your name on it also. Okay, and this one, the smaller one, goes on the actual structure. Okay, so then you will go to the STEM room and get your parts. So once you have this in hand, you will then go into the STEM room and start getting your pieces. Okay, be on your best behavior. If you find a part on the floor, pick it up, please pick it up and place it where it belongs in the correct bins. When we get into the STEM room, you'll see all the different pieces for your section that you're building or part that you're building. Okay? Now, do not mess around. If you're in the STEM room and you're messing around, you're going to possibly break rides people are working on. You might make noise, which will disturb the classes beside it, and you'll get in trouble. We'll have to shut this whole process down. Okay, you need to be on your best behavior and not mess around. Then what you want to do is, once you have your parts packed in your bag, and I'll show you how to do that, you will go and you will find a spot to build and recount your parts. Okay, so you'll come back into the classroom, work at your desk, maybe work on the floor somewhere in here. I might give you some opportunity to work right in the STEM room, but you'll find a place to build, and before you even begin to build, you will double check to make sure you got all the parts you need. And if not, well, then you just go back in and get what you need. Okay? So that's how you get the parts. Now, just to kind of go over a little bit about the building process, but not in great detail, just give you an overview of how we'll handle that. You'll find a place to work, okay? A quiet place away from people. Don't build real close to somebody, because if you build real close to somebody else who's building a part and your parts are on the floor and their parts are on the floor, you're going to get things mixed up. So don't build close to other people. Stay organized, but do not spread out too much. A lot of kids like to spread out all their parts, and sometimes they spread them out so much that they get spread far and wide. People knock them around, kick them, lose them. Or they spend so much time getting organized, they never get time to build. I've seen that happen several times. But anyway, stay organized. Do not spread out too much. Take up some room, but not too much. Okay? Now, when you build, follow the video and build it very, very carefully. Remember, you need to be accurate. And there will be another training video to actually show you that, but you need to be accurate. Check, double check, and then check again that you are building your part correctly, because your part must connect directly and correctly into the other person's part. Okay? Now, when it is about 10 to 15 minutes before the end of class, you should begin cleaning up. Okay, so you're going to have to kind of watch and say to yourself, okay, time to wrap it up, and you clean up on your own. Your unused parts will go in the bag, and name tag, the big name tag in the bag, and then your structure name tag goes on your actual structure. You will place loose parts back in the bag, place the large name tag in the bag, and the smaller one on your actual structure. Then take the part to your desk and wait to have it collected. I will come collect it. Or the teacher might just come and get it from you, gather it from you right then and there when they say, okay, it's about 5 minutes, gather them up, and I see you're done, ready to go, or you're gathering parts. I might just take your structure and put it away. Okay? So anyways, that generally is the information that you'll need to begin getting parts and begin building. All right, but this video is all about getting your parts. So now what I'm going to do is take you over into the STEM room and kind of show you what it is you'll be dealing with. So there's going to be a little bit of an interruption here in the camera. I'm going to stop the screen capture here. I don't want it to keep going. So we will save this, let it go. And here we go. We're going to go over to the STEM room. All right, so here we go. Right through here. Okay. Now remember to be on your best behavior. Don't let the doors slam and bam. Okay, now when we go in here, the first thing you'll notice is there are some sleds and basketballs. Ignore those. Okay, you'll notice that we have building projects in place. You'll notice that we have these bins over there that will be used eventually. We have other motors and parts and stuff like that. And then you can kind of see we have this big drop tower ride, which you get to add on to. You have to be careful if you work around here. You don't want to step on any of that. Do not touch anything that is in here if it's not yours. Okay? So anyways, here's the situation. When you get your parts list, okay? When you get your parts list, you will notice that you have to put your name on it, or your group's name, and then it starts and it lists the rods on this front page, and it has a total, okay? So the first one here is gray rods. That's a 7.5-inch rod, and you would need 22 of those, okay? You might need to fill out a cost page, and if that's the case, then you would take the item, cost per item, and multiply it to get that. You notice that we have a red, a blue, and a green, and a white, and a yellow column. Those are in case you have some of these gray 7.5-inch parts with tape on them, such as, it might look like this. Okay, so if you are asked to get a yellow, okay, if you're told to get one yellow, you would add this to your 22, okay? So then you'd have to adjust your cost by going back into your cost, all right? So anyways, that's what these columns are for right here. The other thing that you'll notice is that when you get to the bottom, you have a total. So you'll want to total up everything that you have, okay? The total of your parts and everything. Now, when you turn the page, you'll see that we have the connectors, okay? And the connectors have a column where they list the different types of connectors, and then they tell you the points, okay? So this blue connector is a 7-point connector, okay? So in other words, they're talking about these connectors, okay? And so if they say it's a blue connector, okay, it's a blue connector, and it connects at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. All right, this is a metallic blue connector. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 point connection. Take a look at the speckled gray connector here. Okay, speckled gray connector, it connects at 2 points. It would be this one. It's kind of speckled gray, whereas compared to this one, this is a solid gray. This is a speckled gray. And you can see that it has 1, 2 connector points. All right? So anyways, that's how the page works. And then the third page would be your special parts, which you may or may not need, such as a gray spacer, blue spacer, cap spacer, hinge. And you might not recognize some of these right here. All right, but it'll tell you how many you need, and if you have a cost to fill in, you'll fill in a cost, okay? So, now, here's how we do this, okay? You will take your bag, okay, and you will begin filling it in with your list of parts. Now, here's the thing that you're going to want to be aware of right away is this code or key for parts, all right? So when you look at the parts that you have to get, okay, you'll see that there's a chart that tells you, like for example, this is a gray 7.5 inch rod. That's a orange 7.5. This is a green 7.5 flexi rod. And it goes all the way down until you got every part listed, okay? To the little green rod that's a 1/2 inch, okay? And then you have your connectors, okay? And it tells you all your connectors and what they are. And then over here, you have your gray spacers, blue spacers, your little cap spacer right there. Okay, your little cap spacer right here. And then you have your cross ties. But anyways, those will give you an idea. Ooh, that's not very good. Get that off of there. Okay, so when you look at it, those give you an idea of what the parts are. All right, here's where the motors are. You don't need to worry about these motors. If you need a motor, I'll come and get it for you. Now, here are the parts, okay? Over here are the connectors. Over here are kind of like the special parts. You can see we have our flex rods right here. These have no tape on them. These are separated with tape. These are a bin of black parts. In here, you will find everything from this little part right here to this part right here to the little black rod. Okay, so this is kind of like a catch-all for parts. All right. The other thing that you'll need to be aware of is that when you are looking for spacers and stuff, they're right here. Okay, kind of all mixed in there. And when you look at the rods, you'll notice, like for example, you have the green metallic rods. These are all regular green metallic with no tape. If you need them with tape, you'll kind of dig through here and search for the ones you need out of there. All right? These up here, you don't touch. You don't touch any of those. All right? So there you go. There are all your parts that you need to worry about. Now, camera. All right, so anyways, that was pretty much the 50-cent tour of the STEM room and its parts. Make sure that when you are getting your parts, that you are on your best behavior. Make sure that if you take a part out, you put it back where it belongs, okay? And if you drop a part on the floor, you pick it back up and you put it where it belongs, okay? And please, 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 if you take an orange rod out and you put it back, don't throw it in the taped bin, okay? So anyways, there you go, kids. Hopefully this video is clear enough to help you understand what it is you are doing, okay? And remember that these charts, okay, these charts tell you what each part is on your list of parts, okay? Alright, good luck. You're probably going to have to take a quiz on this video, so if you need to rewatch it, you can rewatch it. Alright.